Hello everybody, and welcome back to our Hersey Girls Hoops podcast. I'm Gia Sculand, and this week my co-host Megan Cleavey and I sat down with Coach Fendley and senior Natalia Kubsik to talk about her stellar defense, the experiences she's had being on the varsity team, and the seniorship Hersey has this season. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Hersey Girls Hoops podcast. My name is Gia Sculand, and joined alongside me, as always, is my co-host, Megan Cleavey. This week, we welcome Coach Fendley back, and joining us today is senior Natalia Kubsik. Thank you both for joining us, and how are you?
I'm great.
Good, thanks for having us.
So we first want to start off by saying congratulations on your big wins last week against Prospect and Friend. Big ones there. So this week, you faced Maine South, Elk Grove, and BG. You won against Elk Grove and BG by over 30 points, but only won by 7 against Maine South. So what do you think contributes to that variance in scores?
You got this, Nat.
Okay, we definitely knew Maine South was going to be a tougher competition, and they've always been a great team. And then it was just, we also got a little flimsy with our passing at the end. So that kind of got the game to be a little closer. And then they even got it down to 3 points at one point, which was a little nerve wracking, but we knew we were going to clinch it and win that game anyway.
Yeah, they're a really nice team. And it was almost like the opposite of last year. We played them at the beginning of the year last year, and they were undefeated at the time. And they were up most of the game. But then we came back, we were able to get them at the end for a big win last year. And so this year was kind of the opposite. They made a really nice run at the end. But yeah, like Nat said, we made some uncharacteristic turnovers, but we held on. We figured it out and held on. Elk Grove and BG are both super young teams. And I think, that kind of we're really our passing has just been great last night, especially. So, I think that kind of explains the disparity in the other scores.
I don't want to jinx anything with this next question, but you guys haven't had that quote unquote off night. So what do you think causes teams to have those off nights or underperform than what's expected?
I think that comes from mentally preparing, and also before the game, our coaches talk to us, and then we personally have our own talk with just the players, and we try to get hype and just get our energy up. And if we can tell when we're not feeling it, but if someone's not feeling it, we'll push each other to get hype. And then we always it's always the pregame mentality, and know that we can go into this game strong and always trust each other. And also our team is very close, so we all have trust in each other, and we're all good, close friends. So that also helps just keep high energy the whole time.
And I think that what Nat said, I think that makes a difference because, everybody just, I guess by nature has off nights, but they're so kind of intuitive at picking each other up and making sure that if someone is having an off night, someone else is going to cover or try to get him back in sync. And that's what this team does really well.
Yeah. So Natalia, you've been a huge asset for the team on the defensive side with blocks and rebounds. So what adjustments have you made in your game that has allowed you to become such a good defensive player?
I know that that's also my role on the team is I'm not going to be an offensive scorer. So I know to even out or to get my team, it's always their score. So I always want to make sure that I get the box out to get them the second chance shots, or if we're on defense, get the rebound so I can go to quick fast breaks and get assists, or just help my defense on help defense. And if I get a block shot, possibly to not let the other team score, or make sure just to get my team really help with those second chance shots on offense a lot.
And Nat's super modest because she is an unbelievable defensive player. But if she was on most teams, she would be averaging 15 to 20 points a game. But she's so unselfish that she knows that we need her more on the defensive end. So she fills that role perfectly because that's what her team needs.
Yeah. So Coach, were Natalia's defensive skills the main reason you brought her into the starting lineup after her sophomore year?
Yeah. And, Nat did something that's a big jump to make from the JV team to the varsity team starting. But honestly, I think she was really good on the JV team. I think part of it, her Nat wasn't at Hersey her freshman year. She was in Arizona. And I think because of that, just kind of getting to a new school and acclimating, I think she certainly had the skills to already be on varsity, but I just didn't think I could get her enough minutes. And so I'm so proud of her for like playing so hard on JV and then working so hard in that summer between sophomore, junior year that it was by halfway through summer, I think I was like, yeah, we need this kid in the starting lineup. I mean, it was that obvious that she was ready. So.
Natalia, you also play softball and volleyball at Hersey, and with both of those sports being less cardio training, how do you build up your cardio for basketball?
At practice we always do running, but currently I do have an injured back, so it has been harder to do more cardio stuff. But I also work out daily, and I make sure to get anywhere from at least 10 minutes of cardio in after my workout, and just to keep my heart pumping, so I'm good for the game, so we can play a good full 4-quarter game.
Yeah, so Natalia, senior night is Tuesday. So like when you're standing there for the national anthem on Tuesday night, what thoughts might be running through your minds?
I definitely will be very happy being able to play, but I know tears will come to my eyes because it's senior night, which is always emotional, and your second to last game. And it's just hard because this team is also very close. So like knowing that we've played together and know it's been such a great season, and knowing that it's the second to last game of the year, it's going to be tough. But also I'm going to just make sure to play one of the best games I can play and just really try to clinch a win on senior night as well.
Yeah, so Coach, I don't mean to get the cart in front of the horse, but your team is really senior heavy. So have you begun thinking about how you're going to rebuild for another successful team next season?
Yeah, I guess you always kind of think about it, but maybe this year a little less than usual, just because we're so in the moment and we have such a short season that I don't want to like shortchange anything that we have. But that being said, like we start 4 seniors, but again, I think some of the kids that like are not starting would be starting on a lot of teams in the conference. And I think, for the same reason that Natalia was able to jump from the JV team to a varsity starter, we have kids that are working really hard and that are like Val Allen, for example. We asked her on day 1, you watch everything Natalia does because, Natalia knows the drill. She is a great team player. She plays unbelievable defense. She can score when we need her to score. Like watch everything Nat does in practice and in games and fill that role next year. And like kids like Val are like, yeah, I got like the perfect mentor to watch. And so that's like just like one example that you might not know how good Val is because you don't get to read about her in the paper, but I think she'll be another kid stepping up next year.
We might have mentioned this in like an earlier podcast, I think, but because your team is senior heavy compared to, I think you said BG and Elk Grove, do you think that seniorship plays a big impact on the games?
It's not even just the games, like everything. It's everything. In fact, I think we lost the conference championship last year because Fremd had seniors in their leadership role, and we were, mostly underclassmen last year. So like, I think it means in close games, it means so much. And yeah, I think it's an absolute difference maker. I think Fremd beat us by 1 and went on to win the state championship because in close games, their seniors were able to do things that underclassmen just can't do, like kind of emotionally and leadership wise.
So
yes. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. As we mentioned earlier, Natalia, you've only been on the Hersey varsity basketball team for 2 years. So what are you going to take? What's one thing you're going to take away from this experience?
I think it's just going to be, honestly, just like not even the basketball portion of it, but just like us as people and just how close we all were and just how we all like treated each other. I guess that it was always just like we were always looking out for each other and always picking each other up, and just more the relationship of the team, and like we're a family, we're one team, and just I'm always going to remember our team. And Fen mentioned this to us earlier, and then it's like these are our people, and we'll look back to our high school memory and we'll know them forever. And we're not going to remember the specific basketball highlights or like the score to a game, but we'll remember the memories that we made with them.
So now, like, what is your one main takeaway from playing basketball throughout all the years at Hersey?
I would say that basketball also just made me like being tough throughout the whole game, and also helps just like to never give up and always fight through those close games, and always just keep your head high and don't get too down on yourself during those games. Even if you're messing up, then you can help your other team do better, or your other teammates do better, and pick them up.
Now it's a perfect example of like showing that being a great teammate she's already a great player, but then you add to it being a great teammate, and it just like everything fits. And so, yeah, I mean, she's a great player athlete, but like ask everybody on the team. She's an unbelievable teammate. She's got her people. She backs up her people.
So obviously there is no state tournament this year, unfortunately, due to COVID. So how are you going to find finality in this year's season, and or does going undefeated replace that role?
Well, I mean, the farthest we can play or the highest level game is a conference championship. And also we can't take every game as just, oh, we lost this one, we can pick it up. Like having such a short season, we know we have to play our best every single game. And just that will lead up to the conference championship that we are blessed to play on Saturday against hopefully Fremd, or should be Fremd. And just the goal is just to win that game, because that's just the highest level we can play.
Yeah. We're lucky, like, you know, on a normal year, you don't get to end your season on your home court, and we'll get to do that, hopefully with a win, and yeah, just take advantage of, you know, 16 games and try to get all 16 of them, and know that we did the best with the 16 games that we had.
All right, so now that we've finished all the basketball talk, let's get to some rapid fire questions. So
I don't have Cole to answer for me this time. He's not here.
The first one is, what is your favorite food?
Pizza.
Steak, I think.
Good one. What's your kryptonite?
Like, wait, I need a better explanation. Like,
It's just like something like makes you kind of feel like weak, I guess. Like, I don't know. I think one person's kryptonite could be like cookies or something, like in moment of weakness, I think.
ooh, that's good. I don't know, Nat, do you know?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
So
Being late, other people being late and me being late, I'm a disaster. I can handle it.
I can agree with that.
What's your favorite restaurant?
I like, there's a Mexican restaurant in Wilmette near my sister's house, Debo Nuevo. It's good. And my son has severe allergies, and it's one of the few places he can eat. So I'm gonna say that.
There was one in Arizona that I always go to. It's called Sandbar. That was really good.
Okay, and the final question is Starbucks go-to order.
Oh,
I got that today. It's my birthday, so I got my free Starbucks today. And
Ooh.
so peppermint mocha latte. Good stuff.
I got a strawberry refresher with 3 pumps of raspberry.
That's a good one. That'll be the conclusion for this episode. Be sure to tune in this Tuesday to senior night as Natalia and her fellow seniors take on Rolling Meadows at Hersey. Thank you both so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.